So I am trying to be just a fraction of who you are, Sean. So
I encourage anyone that's listening to this to start a podcast. You learn so much about digital storytelling, distribution, and more importantly, even if nobody listened, I get to meet people like you. Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We believe that every business needs to be digital first. We also believe that every business is in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. We're grateful that we have a community of people that have been supporting this show since we launched back in 2017. If you're new, welcome. We like to talk about restaurants. We like to talk about hospitality, technology, storytelling, and how it all blends together. My grandfather, he taught me to stay curious, to get involved, and to ask for help. I'm fortunate that we have this platform and that we get incredible people that listen to this show, watch our content, find us online, and reach out. And today's guest, Albi Zogaj, he actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm doing something pretty cool. I think we should chop it up on your podcast." I looked up his Instagram account. You can go to Albi's Vitae on Instagram and you can see the work that they're doing. Albi, welcome to the show.
Sean, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited to talk digital. I think I'm on the exact same page as you.
How did you find me?
I found you, actually, I'll tell you how I found you. On Instagram, you have a pretty big following and you showed up on my For You page.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. I mean, that's why we do the work that we do. Let's talk about the restaurant. Tell us where is it located? How long you guys been in business, and what do you guys specialize in?
We're in Texas. We're in San Antonio. We got 2 locations right now. We started during COVID with our brand Albi Italian Kitchen. We are looking to grow. When we started in COVID, it was a family business. It's probably similar story to you guys. My mother and I, we slept in the restaurant sometimes. We work in art hard, and I was putting a lot of labor hours. But I actually went to UT Austin for marketing. And so I was doing Zoom classes because it was during COVID. So I was staying in the restaurant in San Antonio, doing my UT Austin courses in the office. And then as soon as I had a break, I would go refill some drinks. It was kind of madness. But as soon as I graduated, I decided, I was like, you know what? We can actually turn this into a brand, into a business that can grow and scale. And so that's when I really started to take in the digital aspect of things and systemizing and creating a company that's not just me running around, but having a team and a structure.
That's awesome. Did you grow up in the restaurant business?
So I was born in Albania. It's across the sea from Italy, bordering Greece. Came here in 2007. Did not know I was going to be in the restaurant industry. Actually, I went to a school called Health Careers, so I was supposed to be a doctor. And then it wasn't until I was 16 years old when my cousin Noli opened Noli's Vitae Italian Kitchen, and he didn't know much English. So he said, "Albi, do you mind coming in and talking to the architects like as a 16-year-old kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, Noli."
Sure, no problem.
So then he kind of forced me to learn like at supersonic speed. And by the time I was 20 years old, I had 4 years of kind of owner experience, even though I wasn't the owner. So I started feeling a little stronger. And now I'm about to turn 25, and we run these 2 restaurants.
That's exciting. Let's talk about marketing. I would love to learn, what did you learn at UT Austin about marketing from a book standpoint, and what have you learned actually producing content on the internet and seeing people watch your videos and your reels and actually coming in to support the restaurant?
That's a great question. And, I am not one of those people that believe like that you must go to school, to succeed. However, I'm also not going to knock the education that I got at UT Austin. It was great. And I have professors that I still think about to this day. My marketing professor, Professor Gabby, he taught us something really, really smart, which was, first, you got to kind of pick a brand. When you think about marketing, you got to really figure out who you want to be. And it's, in my opinion, more powerful to stick with who you want to be and everything you do and everything you say and everything your brand says, even the way your tables and chairs look have to match that brand. That's more powerful than trying to be the catch-all, trying to make sure every single type of person comes and enjoys your dinner or lunch. That's much more difficult to do, because when you try to cast a wide net, maybe no one comes to your restaurant. But when you focus on something very particular and you become known for it, which we've personally picked the neighborhood spot niche, so we are very neighborhood oriented. It does amazing. Our regulars come 5 days a week to our restaurant, and we don't really prioritize tourists, and it doesn't hurt us because we take care of the neighborhood.
That's awesome. Tell me about the videos. Bring me into the video making process. Like I said, we are fortunate that we have lots of shows that we do. We have a family style show, restaurant influencers, digital hospitality, rising tides. Like, I spend all my time talking technology, storytelling, hospitality. And I've met some incredible creators, and I just want to give you props for doing what I think a lot of owners are scared to do, which is getting on camera and, showing personality. We say be the show, not the commercial. A lot of people want to just tell, come to my restaurant and buy my stuff, versus sharing the story. Can you bring us into the process?
Of course. So our marketing, for those who don't know what Albi's Vitae Instagram and TikTok looks like, we're a fun marketing team. We make fun reels. We aren't so serious. We decided to go with that niche. I think very well we could have chosen a different type of marketing videos, but we've decided to go the fun route. I definitely show my face a lot. I love to show people how I make a certain dish, or maybe a fun skit. And when we first started, it felt uncomfortable. So that's what I always tell restaurant owners. It's like, especially like mom and pop restaurants, it's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel like, who would watch this? Like, I don't deserve to be putting content out there. Like this kind of imposter syndrome. But I will tell you, I'm so grateful that I just kept going, because now we just hit one of our videos like 2 weeks ago, hit 100,000 views.
Awesome.
And 100,000 is a big deal. We got both restaurants were super busy from that video, and that video was free. Like, we didn't pay any advertising costs on that. 100,000 people, that's unheard of. And I attribute that video not to the video itself, but to the hours and hours of time I've spent making other videos that failed and learned from them to get to the point to where I can make a video that hits that number.
You launched another company called Restaurant Armor. Can you share, why did you launch it, and what do you guys do?
Yes. Okay. So this is for all the Toast users out there, but actually we're going to be launching for other POS systems as well. Just send me an email if you have a POS system that needs it. But this is for the Toast POS handheld devices, the To-Go 2s. They don't have a case, and so when you drop it, which the servers always drop them, and you need to replace it, you got to pay for it. I always thought it was a little weird that Toast doesn't give you free replacements, considering we pay like a software fee every month as well. So you're paying not only for the software every month, but also hardware replacements. I got tired of that. Now, not only does you can still tap, you can still put in the credit card, everything works, but now you can throw it across the room and the device won't break. So it's been helping us. We have like 10 devices in our restaurant. So we just, plop those on and we're good to go for the rest of the day. We're developing other cases for POS systems as people request it, but we're really happy about it because it solved the problem we faced. So we're hoping that other restaurateurs are going to be happy about it as well.
The shifting U.S. economic forecast is unclear, but one thing is certain: your operations will be affected. The National Restaurant Show is uniquely positioned to deliver solutions that address both current and emerging challenges for restaurant and food service operators, ranging from supply chain diversification to cost savings equipment that helps navigate today's fluctuating labor market. The 2025 show builds your resiliency to face the winds of change head on. Join your peers at the industry's most trusted event taking place in Chicago, May 17th through the 20th. Secure your badge for the restaurant show for food service today. Visit the official website at www.nationalrestaurantshow.com and register with promo code SHAWN25, SHAWN 25, and save $25 off the current registration rate. This offer is exclusive to my podcast subscribers, and this offer expires on May 9th, 2025. This offer is also valid only for operators only. Non-exhibiting suppliers are subject to a higher badge rate. We will see you in Chicago. That's awesome. Recently, you launched Mid-Shift Crisis.
Yeah, so I am trying to be just a fraction of who you are, Sean.
I encourage anyone that's listening to this to start a podcast, because you learn so much about digital storytelling, distribution, and more importantly, even if nobody listened, I get to meet people like you, which is why we do what we do. I mean, it's really cool for me to have this opportunity. I'm excited that you guys have launched your show. Tell us about it.
Well, thank you for those encouraging words. Yeah, we started Mid-Shift Crisis. We are talking, our audience is small restaurant owners that are more mom and pop focused, that want to become more systemized. That's who we're speaking to. We're speaking to the people that are kind of stuck working in their business and are like, hold on, I want a life too. So I was really scared. So I did grow up around the business, like I told you, like 16 years old. So 10 years ago now. I saw a lot of people that I worked under. Unfortunately, it felt like even if there was a special occasion, like, you know, their kid had a baseball game or something, they couldn't get out of their restaurant because the restaurant is like, so like, if you're not there, it won't work kind of thing. And I told myself, I was like, I want to make sure that I don't build a restaurant like that. So we have a lot of systems in place here. So I can go and do other things and focus on growth and leave the business and still works flawlessly. So Mid-Shift Crisis is a podcast where we give advice and tips and tricks. And also I'm going to be bringing in guests once we grow a little bit that can also teach me a little bit more about scaling and being able to work on the business rather than in the business.
Is the podcast live?
Podcast is live, Mid-Shift Crisis. Right now we are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to drop the entire length podcast on Spotify and Apple.
How many episodes have you published?
So right now we're publishing the shorts version of the podcast. So we clip it. We have like about 10 of the clips already posted. We're going to be posting the full length podcast hopefully by next week.
And what's the cadence going to be for publication?
The shorts we're going to be posting every 3 days. That's kind of what we do actually on our Instagram as well, Albi Zogaj. We post every 3 days. Some people, I think you just got to choose your cadence. That works for us. Some people say post every single day as much as you can, which I respect. It's just kind of difficult. But yeah, we're posting every 3 days, and hopefully once a month we drop a full length podcast.
Awesome. What questions do you have for me?
So I'm wondering how you feel about this idea of working on the business versus working in the business. Is this something that you've thought about in the past, and how much emphasis do you put on it?
I think it's the most important thing that it's not just for restaurant owners to think about, but small business owners. I mean, I think it's part of the problem for small business, at least for me in the beginning, was having this badge of honor, and this badge of honor that I was an owner operator. No one gives a shit. Yeah. Like, whoever's watching this, whoever's listening, no one cares that you're an owner operator. That just means you have a job in your business. And, you know, for me, it took me a long time. It took me until my son was born till I actually took myself off the manager schedule, where I no longer had responsibilities to, you know, work 2 shifts a week. And like those 2 shifts, I was the worst manager there was because I was doing owner duties. Yeah. You know, and like, I think it's the most important conversation to have, but it's really hard to do. As any restaurant owner, mom and pop restaurant owner knows, is like, you know, we have trust issues. We don't think someone's going to do it as good as we think that it's valuable for us it is valuable to be in the business, to, you know, to train your staff, to say hello to the customers. But ultimately, what kind of business are you trying to grow? You know, like, then you can never go on vacation. Then you're, you know, a slave to literally the business. So, you know, there is a fine balance, but every successful restaurant, they have systems, and they have those systems in place because, It shouldn't just be Sean's on the schedule. It should be, you know, this is the manager, opening manager, this is the closing manager.
Yeah. Do you think that also, yes, there's definitely trust issues, but also do you think that when you said badge of honor, you feel like if you don't do it, you feel bad about yourself? Like, oh gosh, am I being lazy, or am I like not taking care of things I'm supposed to take care of? That was tough for me to swallow.
Yeah, I think that's part of the, you know, I don't know. I've always had this inferiority complex when people say that you don't work hard. Like, Sean, you don't work hard.
Right.
Like, you don't have a fucking clue how hard I work. You know, and like, even especially when people close to you, they say, oh, Sean, like, especially now for me. Before, at the restaurant was one thing, even though I was working my ass off 7 days a week at the restaurant, you know, opening, closing, doing every single job possible. But now I do videos all the time. It's like, Sean, you don't do any work. You're just talking on the camera. I'm like, you have no fucking clue how many podcasts we produce, how many client calls we're on, how many sponsors we're working with, what we're coordinating to get to the National Restaurant Association show. Like, no one has a fucking clue unless you're sitting doing the work that it's like, it's easy to look on YouTube and go, oh, well, you just posting a couple videos and posting a couple videos on LinkedIn. You're like, you have no idea the work that it took to get, I mean, on my Instagram alone, I've posted over 5,000 times.
God.
That's 5,000 pieces of content. I have 100,000 pieces of content on my phone. You know, 40,000 videos. So how many of those didn't hit the internet? But that's just me trying to get better. And I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be, but I don't care. Like, I don't care because I get the opportunity to work with incredible, like, best in class companies in the restaurant space, in the technology space. We have other brands that are reaching out to us to do stuff that I never thought would be possible. I mean, I went to the IPO for Toast. Wow. I was there.
That's crazy. And
our restaurant, you know, the people, there were 20 other restaurants there, groups that are way more successful than we are, have way more locations, do more revenue, more profitable, all of that. But like, none of them are doing what we're doing. You know, I still have incredible content from that Toast IPO. I'm on the Toast Customer Advisory Board. We have a YouTube show called Family Style with Toast. Toast is a sponsor of Restaurant Influencers. I mean, we do so much cool stuff because we're willing to think differently than, you know, most restaurant owners. And that's why I love doing this work, is because I get to meet people like you that also, you too, believe that it's bigger. As much as we love the restaurant business, it's bigger than the restaurant business.
100%. And every single one of those opportunities that you just said came from you deciding, you know what, I want to step away and work on things that allow for growth of myself.
I came to an inherent belief that I was not alone, that I wasn't alone as a restaurant owner, as a bar owner, as somebody that was just, I mean, my grandfather, he was obsessed with curiosity. Until he passed away when he was 87 years old, he was always asking questions. And he was a medical doctor. He was one of the smartest people I've ever met. But like, he always asked questions. And like, podcasting content allows me to ask questions and to find people that are way smarter than me, way better than the work that I do, and just ask them, how did you do it? What did you mess up along the way? And then hopefully I can curate that knowledge and then share it on shows like this. So somebody that's listening or somebody that's watching goes, maybe I can do that for my business. Maybe I am, you know, bigger than just a small business owner. Small business owners all over this earth, you know, 100%. And like, the technology is there to translate content into different languages. So if the content's good enough, somebody on the other side of the world, my family's from Bulgaria, it can get translated into Bulgarian. And maybe it helps, you know, a restaurant owner in Vratsa, where my wife is from.
Wow. That's an interesting point of view. Posting the content in another language. I didn't even think of that.
Absolutely. I mean, in Spanish language, number one would be the first place to start. And we haven't done that. Like, we're building out a team. Our media team does an incredible job producing our shows as well as shows for other brands. But eventually we'll get to the point where we will be dubbing it into Spanish and dubbing it into other languages. That's what, I mean, Mr. Beast does it.
Yeah, seriously.
If he does it. And the technology is only getting better to help us do that.
Yeah. Speaking of technology, how much do you value AI? Are you a big believer in it, or are you kind of like?
Absolutely. No, yeah. Huge. I mean, the capabilities of what artificial intelligence can do from a strategic thinking standpoint of like, how can I use ChatGPT to help me with a big problem, identify the weaknesses that I'm not even thinking about, knowing my cognitive bias, knowing that I believe in storytelling, I believe in technology, I believe in hospitality. These are the things I believe in. So what am I missing Like, show me the things that I'm missing,
Is
or
that the
think
kind of prompt
deeper
you
about
give?
what's that.
Is that the kind of prompt you give when you ask the question?
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah,
That's smart.
absolutely. Yeah. But
You,
I mean,
you
I'm using it as much as possible. How are you using it in your business?
Well, that's okay. So that's an interesting take in the sense that like you preemptively let the AI know like, hey, these are my beliefs. So like, try to
Yeah.
give me opposing view. I think that's really smart. I've been using AI a ton. Now that AI is so well equipped to also do research, which kind of like
Yeah.
it was like 2 years ago, but now it's like you can really let it research for you. I've been doing a lot of local work with it. So, for example, just yesterday, I used, and this is about to be outdated in like a couple months because you know how
Yeah.
fast AI moves. But as of today, ChatGPT has a deep research button
Yep.
that allows you to ask, a particular question. So I asked, hey, listen, I'm a restaurant in San Antonio. Here's my address. I'm looking for a local restaurant designer, not a big company. Here's my budget. Who's someone I can ask for? I want my
It's
patio to look
amazing.
beautiful. And
Yeah.
it gave me a person, and I guess what? I called them, and they're coming to the restaurant for to check
Amazing.
and give me a quote.
Yeah. And like Yelp isn't going to do that for you. Google's not, like, all of those things. Like, in fact, the more information that we give the AI tool, the better answer you're going to get.
Right. Yeah, you
Yeah,
give it every little detail. I said, "Here's my budget." Like it's so awesome that ChatGPT was able to go and figure out who the person that would actually fit my budget would be.
for
That's pretty
sure.
cool.
Any other questions that I can answer for you, or how can people keep in touch with you?
Yeah. Well, we are awesomely on the same page in terms of digital marketing and growth. Yeah, Mid-Shift Crisis and Albi's Vitae is where you can find me. I love the idea of talking to other restaurant owners and business owners and trying to get better. My big thing for 2025 is growth. I'm looking to open up another restaurant. Um,
Awesome.
how many locations do you guys have, and are you still looking to grow?
Currently, we have 3 locations. We have a stadium location, a fast casual on the San Diego Navy Exchange, and then we have our main smokehouse, commissary, full service restaurant that we will be celebrating 17 years coming up in April.
That's awesome.
But we're always looking for opportunities. I think the biggest thing for us is not thinking about traditional growth, but the work that we're doing on the media side is something that how many restaurants do you know that are also media companies?
Right.
Do you know any?
No, Cali barbecue.
Yes, we're trying our best to pave the way and to share all the secrets, all the things that we messed up along the way, and all the things that we hopefully try to get right. But yeah, I think there's all kinds of opportunities for all of us. I mean, we go National Restaurant Association show every year. We're going to go with our media team. We're going to go out there, but I mean, part of what we do on this show, we have a show called Rising Tides Live, which if you guys are listening to this, you can be a guest on that show. And that's every Wednesday, every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can go to betheshow.media/rising tides. But I think we're just in the beginning. I mean, we're literally talking about artificial intelligence. What's going to change in the next 3 years? Restaurants are going to look a lot different. All businesses are going to look a lot different. So if you're not out there testing and making mistakes and trying things and asking questions and making connections with people all over the globe, that we think the same way. And the way that we think is we don't have all the answers, but we're willing to do the work. We're willing to ask questions. We're willing to get involved.
Yeah, it's coming anyway, so might as well be on top of it, know what's going on.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Well, Albi, I truly appreciate you reaching out. I hope you keep in touch. We'll be following you on all the platforms, and congrats on the launch of the podcast. Can't wait for you to make that more frequent. The answer is going to be more frequency.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you for having me, and God bless.
yeah, appreciate it. And when I'm in Austin, I'll look you up and come say what's up.
Love it.
All right, my friend.